Today, we're diving into the world of FL Studio to uncover over 20 tips, tricks, and features that will completely change the way you produce music. So stick around until the end because you won't believe how easy it is to unlock FL Studio's true potential. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the playlist. The playlist is where everything happens, and we have some crazy shortcuts for the playlist. So the first feature is making stuff unique. Let's say we want to make this pattern unique and change it up. If I go in here right now and I just add a chord or cut right here, this pattern is also going to be affected because it's also pattern 4. So if we want to change this pattern up without this being affected, then we have to make this unique. Normally, you would go here and press make unique. In the new FL Studio update, there's an easier way now. You can just press Shift V and then you drag on the pattern and you drag it over. And as soon as you let go, as you can see, it made it unique. Now it's pattern 5. So now we can go in here and cut right here. This is insane. If you make drums in patterns and want to change like the end of a drum section, this is also insane. If you're working a lot with audio and let's say we have this vocal right here and we want to pitch this down, but we want the normal vocal to stay like this, then we can just Shift V, drag it out, let go. Now it's unique. Can move it back and we can pitch it down. Easy as that. This is a new feature that's just been added, so definitely gotta get used to that. Something else we can do in the playlist is consolidate certain sections. This is super cool if you're trying to make transitions. Let's say we have this right here. And I want to make a transition right here, but I need it to be in audio form. Instead of like bouncing everything out, we can just select the whole section, or we can just select this part right here, where the transition should be. Press Ctrl, Alt and C, and just bounce it out. It bounced out this part, and it already disabled all the patterns right here. To enable the patterns again, you can just press T and draw over them. I'm gonna leave it like this. And now, right here, we have just the audio file. And now we can do all kinds of different stuff to it. We can reverse it, pitch it, we can put it to a mixer track. See, we can even fade it in and still let these play. Just as an example. You can also do this with drums, which also sounds amazing. This next tip is a lifesaver. We've all been there. You play a song and something just doesn't seem right, you know? And then you zoom in and you can see your patterns and audio clips are not aligned to the grid, which can be like a pain in the ass to fix. So normally we would have to go in and just move them over like this and fix it like that. What you can do is just press Shift, Q. A lot of people know you can actually do that in piano roll. You can also do it on the playlist, which saved me a lot of time already. And I'm sure it's going to save you a lot of time. A really cool workflow tip is using these tools. Instead of going to the top right here, pressing this, we can just right click and use the mouse wheel to scroll through them. This way, you don't have to go to the top right here all the time. You can just right click, boom, pen tool, right click, and then go to the disable tool, left, right click, boom. Super simple. Now I'll show you guys my favorite playlist trick. This is the arrangement view. As you can see, we have arrangement right here. If you press it, you can add one. And then you press yes, give it a new name, and you have a completely new arrangement with nothing in there. And you can switch between them, like switching between patterns. Now we can go in here and select these patterns, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and boom. This is obviously cool when you're trying to rearrange a song. Let's say we want to try out a different arrangement. Super simple. This can also be cool if you're making beats from scratch and you just want to bounce out the sample. Let's say this is your whole beat. You just finished that and want to send it to a rapper. You can just copy the melodic pattern, go to arrangement 2, paste that in here, and then you can structure it as a loop, bounce that out, and also send it out to other producers to work on to get some collaborations in. This is a super underutilized tool. That's going to be it for the playlist. Next up is the browser. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is how to maximize screen space. Let's say you have a small screen and the browser can take up a lot of that screen. What you can do is come right here and press on auto hide. This will automatically hide the browser, and once you use your mouse to get to the left, it's gonna unhide itself. You can combine that with actually left clicking on the browser and just moving it to the side. This way you have a lot of screen space, and then once you need it, you can go in there and get your stuff. You can also put the browser, if you have a second monitor, on the second monitor. Stuff like this is super nice if you have a small space. The next thing is, as you can see, I'm on my sounds tab. This is just basically a collection of the sounds I use the most. Instead of being on all and having a million different things, I like to have my stuff organized, ready to go, so I don't miss a beat when making beats. Ba-doom. To do this, It's super simple. All you have to do is right click on the folder you want to add to a new tab, go open your new tab, and then you have this right here. You can rename it. So sounds, you can give it a color if you want to, and you can even give it an icon if you want to. Boom. And now you have your sounds thing right here. Now to add new folders to this, you can just right click and then add folder to tab, sounds. And this way you can organize your sounds, have way quicker access to everything, and it's just very nice for organization purposes. The next one is the toolbar on the top right here. It's not something a lot of people talk about. You can customize this toolbar a lot. We do this by right clicking and pressing edit. As you can see, you have already preset some presets here, but first let's go edit. And now as you can see, you have a lot of stuff. If there's stuff that you personally don't use, I don't use this one. So the mixer, the piano roll and stuff, I don't use these buttons because I use my keyboard for that. F5, F6, F7, F10, you know? You can preview your stuff and you can add stuff that you really need. I personally have a preset. So this is my preset, as you can see. I just have the most necessary stuff for recording. I like to have it small because I like to have a lot of like screen space available. If you made your own preset, then you can just come right here and press save preset as. This will open this and then you can put like toolbar preset. Boom. And then I saved it. And every time the bar resets, you can just put your preset there and it goes back to your old ways. I recommend only really putting in the buttons you need. There's certain stuff you can't remove. Stuff like the hint panel can't be removed, which is okay. But certain unnecessary buttons you can just take away. Let's talk about some of these buttons. So we all know the musical keyboard. Right here, you can just press it. And if you press it, you can use your keyboard to play instruments, basically. You can also right-click this, and it's going to open this right here. You can choose a scale right here, and this allows you to always play in scale, basically. So, just as an example, right now, this chord progression is in C minor. So, if I wanted to play on my keyboard, then I would just go right here, press C, and then pick the minor one, if I can find it here. And now, as you can see, all the notes I'm pressing are all in key. This allows you to record without having a MIDI keyboard, just using a keyboard and being able to, even if you don't have like the knowledge of music theory, you can just always hit the right keys basically. So as you can see right here, I just dragged in a one shot and now I can, it's always gonna be in key, you know? Whatever. It wasn't the greatest, but you get the point. You can also combine this with the loop recording function. Something else that's very cool on the toolbar is the tool function and then macros. If you have a PC that can't really handle that many plugins, this is like a goldmine for you. This basically allows you to set macros for FL Studio. So a big one is switch Smart Disable for all plugins. This basically means that if you have 100 plugins and if you're playing the track, only like 16 get used, but the other ones are also there, these plugins will be disabled, and as soon they are like needed, they get switched on. This just saves you a lot of CPU. This just saves like your PC from burning down basically. Another cool macro is purged unused audio clips. As an example, if I'm playing this right here and I have like 100 audio clips right here and I'm only using 5 of those, and I go to tools, macros, and press purge unused audio clips, as you can see, it deletes everything that's not on the playlist and it's not being used. This is like a cool feature. Like, let's say you're recording like vocal takes and you have 200 different vocal takes and you already combed your vocal and then you still have like 300 right here. Then you can just like, instead of deleting them one by one, you can just go in and macro that. Something you can also do in the macros is right here, switch all plugin editors to attached or detached. The attached and detached is pretty simple. I have an EQ right here. If I press to the next EQ, it's going to close. That's because it's attached. As soon as I go right here to detached and open the next one, it stays open. You can do that for all your different plugins by just coming to macros and switch all plugin editors to attached and detached. Detached basically allows you to move it around and it stays open. Attached closes the plugin once you close it. So now we're going to the mixer. I just have a couple quick ones right here, which can be very helpful and save you a lot of time. So as you can see, I have a different drum buses right here. Let's say I want to know which of these tracks is connected to this bus without going like this and checking. You can just come right here, press select, and then tracks routed to this one. And boom, as you can see, now I can see all the tracks that are routed to this bus. Just something quick, because I have this problem a lot, because I work with buses a lot, that I keep forgetting, okay, which bus is this routed to? This is just a simple trick to save you some time and headache. The next one, to reset one of these mixer tracks, you can just right click E and spacebar. This is going to reset the whole track, delete all the plugins, delete the name, the color, everything. It's just going to set it back to standard. Super useful if you're trying to keep your project clean. If you want to clone a mixer track and all the effects and the effects settings within those effects, it's super simple. You can just right click, go to File, Save Mixer Track. Don't click it, just hold it and move it to the mixer track that you want to clone. So as you can see, same Echo Boy, same Pan Man, and it's going to be the same effect settings. Super simple. Another mixer track with buses. Let's say this is your whole melody section and you want to send it to this bus right here. What you can do is select all of them by holding S Control and just moving along, and then just right clicking on this little arrow right here. And this allows you to route to this track only or route to this track. If you route to this track only, all the other connections are going to be cut, and it's just going to send it to this bus. Boom. As you can see, now we can go in and use the other trick and see, boom, all these mixer tracks are routed to this bus right here. Super important shortcut. If you like have a drum bus, a vocal bus, it's going to save you a lot of time. Now let's talk about more of that hands-on stuff. I just took like a one shot out of the Cymatics Fantasy sample pack. If you want 500 free one shots, you can just check the description. It's some of the rarest synthesizers in existence, and we took all the presets from them and put them in a pack for you. So now we're going to talk about the channel rack. The channel rack is like a gold mine in FL Studio. We have a simple one shot, and we can turn this into something crazy. The first section we're going to talk about is obviously the pre-computed effects and this wrench tool. Stuff like normalize, lengthen the time, and that's cool and that's like very useful, right? But I wanted to talk about this section right here and the wrench tool. First up, I want to turn the envelope into like more of a bellish sound. The next thing I'm going to do is let's go to the wrench tool. Here we can have an arpeggiator, we have polyphony, and we have like a delay. So I'm going to start with the arpeggiator. Something we can do is turn this into arpeggiator. Let's add polyphony to this. So we go to Porter, Mono. As you can see, already pretty cool. If we go back to this envelope section, we can add some attack to this. And then we can like turn this computer. Can give it some tail. And that's just like playing 3 notes, you know? We can obviously turn the arpeggiator into something else. We can turn it down. We also have this mod X and mod Y section. And this mod X is basically like a filter, right? So this is like a low pass filter. You can also go in right here, and using this you can add a tremolo effect. You can also go in right here and add an envelope to that. How crazy it should be. We can also use the mod Y section as also a filter. And you can even like select what kind of filter you want to do this with. So we can do the same thing right here. You can add like an envelope to the filter, an LFO, and play with that, which is insane. So you can actually go from like a pretty simple one shot to something like complex like this. And that's all within just the channel rack. Another cool thing that's going to save like a lot of people's lives is this part right here. So let's say I went through like 20 different one shots, right? And I really liked the first one, but I can't remember the name of the one shot. I can just go right here and press right click, and then I can see all the ones I already went through. And then I go back to the first one, and we're back at the beginning. This is a super useful feature to have that already saved my life like 20 times, easy. So next we have the piano roll, and we have some huge features that just have been added to FL Studio. The first one is right here and right here, Alt P, generate chord progressions. And we're just doing that with the one shot. As you can see, a whole new window pops up as new, and there's a lot to talk about here. Let's go through it. Let's start right here. This basically allows you to generate new chord progressions at the click of a button. You have multiple different options here. The first one, it generates a chord progression based upon the chord progression you have in here. So if you have like a C minor chord progression in here, it's gonna generate a C minor chord progression and just gonna go off that. You have this button right here, which completely starts over. So if you generate, like, it changes the key, it changes everything. Under this, we have conventional to adventurous. And this basically just lets the AI know, do you want to have a common one, or do you want to have like a corporation that's like a little bit out there? It's a slider, you can just choose where to put it. Next, we can select the length. How long do you want the corporation to be? 2 bars, 4 bars, 6 bars, whatever it is. And the range of the corporation. Okay, this is like the cool part right here. If we go to this G minor right here, we can right click, edit, and select the scale. So right now we'll see minor, which is really cool to have. Below this, we have the chords. So now let's just generate one and then listen to. Now we can go in and just say, okay, let's try a different one. Let's say you like this chord, and this chord. So you like the first 3 chords, but you don't like the last one. Then you can just lock the first 3 and regenerate. And this brings you like a ton of different chords, right? But let's say you want to be like a little more specific. Then you can just go right here, press this arrow down, and select one of the like alternative chords. So let's say you like this one. Or let's say you want like this one. What you can also do is right here, if you click it, you can preview just one chord. So if you lock these 3 and you're trying out chords, you can just go in and preview. You can also start right here and preview from this chord. Boom, easy. You can also right click it and go right here to change notes. Here you can invert it, you can transpose it, fix the bass line, add extra notes, color, everything. You can do everything right here, right? So what you can also do is go to the edge of the chord and elongate it. So you move all this over and then you can make it longer. You can really go in and build a whole chord progression right here. Another feature that's really cool is adding passing chords. So we have these 2 chords and I want to progress from the C minor to this A flat. What you can do is right click and create add passing chord. Let's say this is too high and we can go right here and go down in the inversions. Super simple. As you can see, you can like really go deep and create custom chord progression out of thin air without knowing like any music theory, just by listening. The last thing right here is this bottom part right here. We have presets, formats, and advanced. The presets are really cool. As you can see, you have like a ton of different presets. You can just go in, as you can see the mood of it. Or let's go for velvety. Very nice. Something else you can do is decide the rhythm of it. So you can have like chopped chords, you have shuffle, a bunch of different rhythms basically. What you can also do is go to performance and go right here. As you can see, you have ARP, chop, and humanize. I'm going to first show you humanize. You can just basically come right here and add the humanization as if we were in a piano roll and pressing Alt C to strum something. That's what you have right here. You can go in and change the depth. As you can see, as I'm turning this is changing. You can add the time, the weight, everything. The same for the ARP. We have simple ARPs. You can take it offbeat, change the bias, more of everything, articulation, note repeats. Like there's like a million different ways. So if you're looking to get like an idea for a melody, this is definitely where to start. This is great, like for people that have no idea about music theory, even for people that have idea of music theory and just want like quickly to get into creating and just want to lay something down without having to think about a million different things. Getting this and just playing around with it is gonna 100% give you some great ideas. So let's quickly make a chord progression using this. So we reset the arpeggiator, go back to humanize, light humanization, and then generate. You know what? That's actually already great. The next thing I'm going to show you guys is this combination of features that all come together in a great thing. The first thing is right-clicking this note right here and then going snap incoming MIDI, and then you can do snap to scale as well. But snap incoming MIDI. This basically allows you, when you're playing the keyboard, that's instantly gonna snap to the grid after recording. If I play something and I stop, it's instantly going to go to the grid. And it's going to snap to the grid that you have selected right here. So the smaller the grid, the less correction is going to happen. This by itself is pretty cool. So if you combine this with a different feature I just showed you, the feature where you can select that all your keys that you press are going to be in key while on your keyboard. This makes it super easy to record. And if we add this with another feature, the loop recording feature, it's gonna turn you into Beethoven, even though you have no idea about playing chords or something, or playing like melodies. So workflow is pretty simple. You just turn on your magical keyboard, you have some chords playing, you have the loop recording on, and then you just record and you just play. And now it loops, and we just can add something. So as you can see, it becomes super easy to create a pattern, create a melody, because you just loop it and you just try stuff out, you know? And you can't really mess up because all these keys sound good, you know, because they're already in scale. That's just a very cool combination of features that stack upon each other and create something that's like super easy to use and that gets you very, very cool results. So that's it. Like I said, if you want 500 free one-shots from some of the rarest synthesizers in existence, you can just check the description. They're all in there, free of charge. I really hope that some of these features can help you in your music production journey, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.